I got another video coming. I don't think this one's going to be quick. Camera's all messed up. But I'm hoping it's going to be cool. I actually have a project that I'm working on. I'm already bleeding. I haven't even started yet. What the heck? Anyway, somebody asked me for a fillet knife. I've never done one. And, you know, I know it needs to be pretty good steel. Steel, yeah. And he's, you know, the temper needs to be very springy on it. So, not sure exactly how I want to approach this. And in one of the recent comments, somebody brought something up that I wanted to do anyway, and that's taking bandsaw blades and forge welding those together. And I'm thinking that bandsaw blades, you know, I think actually I could probably just take one of these wood miser blades or whatever it is, sawmill blades, and actually just it's that stuff you guys do. Stock reduction, stock removal, just grind one out of there. But we're going to go ahead and take some out. I have some of these wood blades, all right, and then I also have a pretty good collection, ouch, of metal bandsaw blades. So I'm thinking that mixture of steel, hopefully they're compatible with each other. We're going to find out, that's for sure. Might make a halfway decent blade. I think it'll make a good blade. I think it might make a nice pattern weld to it. That's what I'm really after today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some sections of this. My objective is to get the forge welding done, make sure that works, and then maybe forge out a small knife just to test the temper and hardening and make sure everything's going to work on it. So I might take a block, I don't know, 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches long, and we'll stack these things up alternating, and we'll see if we can get them stuck together. But if you notice this stuff, you know, this is all reclaimed steel, landfill, scrapyard steel. I'll get them cut, I'll get them cleaned up. We definitely want them clean. So give me some time to do that, and I'll be right back. Fun, children, but went ahead and cleaned up, and I alternated in the stack here. I have the wood blade, metal blade, wood blade, metal blade all the way through. I'm going to call this my blackjack stack because there's 21 layers in it right now. So what I'm going to do next is I don't want these teeth in there. They're just, oh, no, they're going to cause me grief, I know for sure. Again, I've never done this, so I'm assuming everything, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and weld these up on 3 sides and then grind all those teeth off. So we got a nice flat edge up there. And I won't bore you with the details of that. I'll be right back. Step to this. If you notice, one side of this, I don't know if you can see in there now, but a nice flush, but this side, you know, there's a little bit of deviation between the links. I'm going to grind those suckers off flat first because I want everything to be as perfect as possible with this one. Alright, so just a few lines of weld around, and now I'll go back, like I said, and grind off. Why is it so dark? Is it just my angle? Grind off those teeth. And I'll be back. He said, slow down, Chandler. So check out the time. I don't know, I've probably been at this for freaking hour already, but taking our time today. It's Monday. So there she is. I got a lot of weld on there just to keep everything hopefully nice and together. And hey, who knows? She might turn out birdie. One thing I didn't do, this is the unknown that Chandler always has to have some freaking unknown in there. As I ground those teeth down, you can see, well, I welded a lot of the spots in there, so maybe you can't, but the wood blade went down another 1/4 inch in each gap of the teeth, and I didn't want to take that much steel off. So I didn't go totally flat, and that may come back to haunt me. I do not know, but we're going to find out. Let's get the forge going. I often get asked to show lighting the forge, so this is the way I do it. Again, I burn anthracite because that's what I have, and I've gotten used to it, and I kind of like it. That's the end of that conversation. I throw a little charcoal down there with a butane torch, or butane propane torch. I just get down there and light that charcoal, turn my air on. Just takes a couple of seconds. The charcoal's lit. I like, and I don't know why, but it seems to work for me, I like to throw a fresh scoop of coal on top of those. I don't know why, but every time I do, my fire seems to I don't know, it seems to cooperate better. So that's what I do. Then I bring in my old coked up stuff. You don't want to go too deep because you want that airflow to be there, but I let that cook. In the summertime when everything's dry and hot, I got a spark box that I put over that so these sparks don't go flying around. But it's cool out today, I don't need to worry about it too much. A couple of cranks on the hand crank. And we'll just let that stuff cook for a minute. Now, if you don't know anything about my air system on the forge, got a little squirrel fan blower running through some, I don't know, 3 or 4 inch aluminum flex pipe going right into the side of the air intake on the hand crank blower. That provides me a constant flow of air, and with anthracite, that's why I like to, I mean, you kind of have to have constant airflow. It's a pretty powerful blower, but it works well. It's just a little too strong if I want to regulate it. I don't know if you can hear the difference there or not, but I open up the clean out underneath, and that kind of allows some of the air to escape down. See if you can hear the difference. All right, so I'd say about half the airflow. We'll let that cook up till she's good and hot. Monday. Not only am I bleeding all over the place, what the heck? Not only am I tired from the weekend, and not only is it gloomy outside, I don't feel well today. And I called in to the boss, said, I don't feel well, can I take a day off? And he said, no! Sucks to work for yourself, sometimes. Step, after I get that fire packed where I want, load up the table with some fresh coal so that it's there, and then the stuff next to the fire can start smoking up a little. I don't even know if anthracite coal cokes, I don't know. Seems to. Not as well as the bituminous, I'm sure. Get a nice supply all the way around so that I can keep that coal moving. One thing that you'll see me do, well, you may or may not, if you ever see the shots of the forge, almost every time I go in and out of that forge, I move the coal around, and the anthracite seems to like that. You know, you take the piece out, do your work, put the piece in, and put some not new coal, but some coal from around the outside, some of the coked up stuff, and just kind of keep that fire, keep that coal in motion, and the anthracite seems to burn longer and cleaner. Well, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and normally I don't like to go into a new fire when I forge weld, so we're gonna let that cook for a little bit. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but to me, it just seems that the fire cleans up quite a bit more once it's been going for a while. So maybe I'm an idiot, but that's my technique. And I'll tell you, when it comes to forge welding, especially for us new guys, if you're lucky enough to find something that works, don't listen to anybody. Keep doing that until you can be really good at it. Then, don't be closed-minded. There are other ways, and there's a lot of experience out there. So get to the point where you have confidence. Yeah, I can do this. I'm confident that I'm going to be able to forge weld that. Yeah, I'm confident. I've done enough forge welding, not a lot, that I think this is going to turn out well. I cleaned the steel well. I think everything's going to be good. But there's a million things that you may not know. The worst part about it out there is everybody's got an opinion. Flux, no flux, this, that. Get so you can do it. That way you have your confidence so you can actually start making some of the things you want to make. And then start sneaking in some of the suggestions that other people give you. Because we don't all know everything, especially us people starting off right now like I am. But definitely just get your technique down. This is a large billet. With a large billet, I come out hammering pretty hard. With a small, like if I'm making a ring or a chain or something, that first weld is I'm come out with a small hammer and I'm rapidly tapping it and not going for a lot of force. I'm going for the stick there because you don't have a lot of material to compensate for those heavy hammer blows. With something like this or a chainsaw chain or motorcycle chain, I come out as fast as I can with the 3 pound hammer and almost as heavy as I can with the 3 pound hammer. Just to get that, because there's a lot of absorption going on that outer metal to get into that inner metal. So we're gonna let this run for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna throw it in there, throw the billet in there, and I'm gonna bring it up slowly because there's a lot of steel. I want that core just as hot as the outside because those outside pieces are so darn thin. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm thinking this thing through, right? Those outside pieces could start melting away long before the inside of the core is even close to the right temperature. So we're going to bring it up slowly. I'm not going to throw it in the hot fire and get it up to white hot and start hammering on it. I'm going to get it up there. Maybe I'll let it sit for a while to let that heat dissipate all the way through, throw it back in until I feel pretty confident that we're heated all the way through. How is that for a dissertation? Right or wrong, that's what I'm going to do. I made up a few bottle openers while I was waiting for the fire to get going. I'd say it's pretty darn close to going the way I want it to now. So we will put this billet in, and again, I'm just gonna stick it in there. I'm not gonna go really deep with it, and just let it take its time coming up to temperature. Let you see, all right? So that was with the side that was down to the fire. I mean, these very thin pieces, their outside ones are gonna heat really quick. So we're gonna take our time and bring it all up at once. I was talking about, you can see that the outside edges are much hotter than the inside. Now we're getting up there so the thing's at least hot. I'm going to clean this off. Now what I did with this handle is I marked squigglies where the teeth sides are, and you can actually see that, and then this is the flat side. So I'm just going to take this opportunity when everything's hot to just kind of compress that corner a little bit. Try to fill some of the gaps where those wood saw teeth didn't mesh directly with the bandsaw teeth. So hopefully those gaps aren't going to keep splitting on me once I start forging, and it's something that could possibly happen. But just to kind of get everything packed in before we go in for a good fluxing heat, and then finally the welding heat. Everything's nice and tight. We shouldn't have any trouble as long as I maintain that inner heat. We got this thing almost up to temperature for the flux anyway. It's looking pretty good to me. We'll come over here. We'll just dump that flux right down those edges. And again, you may not even need the flux. This is my routine. Like I said, if you find a routine that works, stick with it until you think you pretty much have it down pat, and then start inducing maybe different techniques. We have some really clean steel here. I think we're going to be in good shape. But with that done, we'll go for the first welding temperature. We're going to bring this up. I keep rolling the thing 80 degrees, 90 degrees. Try to get that welding temperature all the way around and all the way through. I got this thing up, just starting to see some of the flies coming off of it. Flux is flowing around like a liquid. You can see it bubbling all the way around. Just want to go a little bit hotter than I want. I'll sacrifice a little on the outside to make sure I'm good on the inside. When I come out, it's going to be as fast as I can and as hard as I can with that 3-pound hammer. Hopefully we'll get a good stick. Alright, here we go. Yeesh, mom. Again, in my tight quarters, I do a quick check to make sure I didn't catch anything on fire. That looks good. It feels good. I have all these striations from the edge, which I don't like, but I think I got a good stick here in the middle. And I went right up the entire billet, so I'll go back to flux. What I'm going to do, this is just me not knowing what the freak I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and hit those edges, see if I can get those edges to weld in before they start splitting out on me. So we'll go super hot again. There. Again, I'm going to focus right on those edges. That's it. I'll tell you a little secret. I saw bubbling up in here from the other plates. That concerns me a little, but it is what it is. You can see right here, see how it's changing? I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little darker there earlier. That's a bubble. Another one right there. Yikes, you're making me a little nervous. But We will do what we got to do. Next time out, we'll come out with a 4-pounder and really put some compression on that. Maybe I should have gone for another weld on the flat first before I worked those edges. It's a learning experience, it's a tricky thing to do, but we're going to come out with a 4-pounder once it's really hot. And hopefully we can get all those layers back together where they belong. Whew. My objective is to get 4 hits in before the first second, to get that stuck down. You ready? I'm liking it. I'll be liking it, feels good. While she's still a little warm, I'm going to just dress this end up a little. This end almost looks solid. This end leaves me wishing for more. But I'll tell you, what would you guys do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind those off before they cause me any more grief. I'm sure they're a lot thinner than they were when I started, but I'm going to go down to a solid. We'll forge it one more, we'll put a weld on it one more time, and we'll fold the sucker. Alright, we're ready for the final weld. And that's it. The moment of truth is I now want to turn this into a square. And that will determine whether or not those side welds stuck. Come on, stop moving. Whee! I don't see any delamination happening yet. Here's my goal. We'll go to a square. Because right now my lines are here. Yeah, I want to go to a square and then fold it. And that way I can have sideways lines on the blade and an edge pattern on the top. That's the plan. Alright, let's see if we can bring this thing down to a square-ish. Square-ish. Ain't quite there. I wish it were. One more time. The last one, I'm going to shed some long johns here pretty quick. Sure looks pretty damn square to me. Problem is, it's got to be very damn square. Very damn square. It's looking good, children. Yeah, 3/4 by 3/4. All right, so like I said, I marked the handle. So that's where the teeth used to be, and that's the back side. You can kind of see the layers while it's cooling there. So I want to cut this, rotate 190 degrees, weld it on top. So I can't just cut it and fold it. I want to cut it, twist twist it and fold it. So I got to cut her straight off. I'll be back. Over the angle grinder, cut that piece off, rotate it 90 degrees and lay it back down so that I have striations going this way on the edge and then this way on the side. I guess when you want to try new things, you want to try new things. I really wanted to weld down this edge, but I felt that might be cheating a little bit. I took a grinder to the inside, cleaned those off really well, bring this up to temperature, we'll flux it, and we'll see if we can weld those two pieces together. Mondays. Clean that edge off especially. Once again, wherever the hell it is, back to the flux. Whether you think I need it or not, we're going there. Hydraulic press or a power hammer and this puppy would have been done half an hour ago. I don't know if you can see it or not. Ah, it's just too much infrared. That flux just turns into a glass. Starts floating that crap out of there, let's hope. In addition to, so that's the thing, you talk to 5 different people about flux and you get like 6 different answers. Is it floating the crap out, or is it actually making a barrier to keep the oxygen from getting in and contaminating the weld? Like, I don't know, man. Just do it yourself, figure it out. It's crazy. Before I do it, because I'm not going to waste any time, I'm going to come back to the 3-pound hammer. Like I always say, I like to go with a smaller hammer and as fast a hitting as possible for that first weld. I like to pretend that I'm bouncing the molecules of the steel together. Call me stupid, but that's what I pretend to do. So we're going to come back as fast as I can move this 3-pound hammer and bring that thing down. Not super hard hits, but super fast, medium to relatively hard hits. That's the plan. We're almost there. And here we go, children. It's not how fast you can hammer, it's how well you can hammer fast. You an infrared filter, but I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I got that really looks good there. Looks nice and stuck. Probably melting my lens there. So one more time through the forge under welding heat, and then we will be done, I think. Going for the last weld, I'm going to go for the 4-pounder just to get everything squished together. I'm going to make sure I pull this out in the right orientation, and here we go. Fold it again. No, that's it. That's as far as I'm going with it. Now, if I was trying to make a sword, I take this and fold it one more time, and then we give you a whole section of longitudinal lines down the center with your tree grain around the outside. That would look cool. A little trapezoidal in my hammering. At this point, I'm calling that a solid piece of steel. And cool down. I'll grind her off nice and party, and we'll throw it in the etch for a few minutes, just so you can see, hopefully, what I planned, where the lines are horizontal on the top and perpendicular on the bottom. We got her all ground off. I'll drop her in the ferric chloride for about 10 minutes, and I'll be back. Alright guys, about 10 minutes in the ferric chloric acid and ferric chloride, ferric chloric, whatever it is I got over there. And the pattern did what I wanted it to do. I'm not as happy as I thought I would be. So again, this top one, the lines are going this way, and the bottom ones, the lines are going that way. On the end, it looks pretty cool if I can get a good angle. With the light, here we go, that's a good one. So you got little squiggles this way vertically, little squiggles going that way. Again, my plan was to keep it like this, draw it out, turn it into a knife, but I just don't know if I like, you really can't see, you can see the lines. You know, as I bevel this out, these will turn into a tree grain kind of pattern. I just don't know if I like it. But project for now was to get the bandsaw blade forge welded, and then I wanted opposing grains or opposing lines, and we did that. So that part's successful. I'll go on to the next video. I was going to nip off a piece and create a test knife out of it, but I'm afraid once I do that, I'm not going to have enough steel to do what I want to do. So I'm going to make a decision as to what to do, and I have an idea. I don't want to do it, but I might have an idea to do that. So check out the next video where I take the bandsaw blades and billet and forge this thing into a knife. Thanks for watching, and check out the other video. I said that, didn't I? Yeah. I'm tired. It's Monday. I don't feel well. Called the boss, told him I was sick. He said, too bad, get to work. Remember? Bye.